This week on Capital District Dirt, Lance Willix shows who's the boss at the Ridge. Demetrios Drellos returns to victory lane at the Great Race Place, and the Valley of Speed ends their electrifying night a little bit early. All that plus much, much more this week on Capital District Dirt. Let's kick things off this week up at the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park, the fastest quarter mile on dirt, if you will, where West End Towing and Repair presented the annual visit by the Dirt Car 358 Modified Series. A stellar field of 35 Dirt Car 358 Modified drivers entered the event, which drew drivers from Quebec to southern Ontario and western New York at all points in between. Before we get into the results, a huge shout out to my fellow staff at the Ridge for getting the 8th Division show in the books by 10:30 p.m. on a beautiful Sunday night. Also, a big thank you to Tim Baltz for letting yours truly split the Dirt Car 358 Modified announcing duties. I appreciate that more than anyone knows. Here is a recap courtesy of the Dirt Car Northeast press release, penned by Mike Warren. Defending Glen Ridge track champion Jordan McCready led the 30-car field to the green flag with Willix on his outside. McCready quickly pulled away from the number 31, gaining a full straightaway lead by lap 6. However, that's also when he reached the back of the field, allowing Willix to close back in. The first of two cautions slowed the field on lap 11, when C.J. Castelletti spun in between turns 3 and 4. When the race resumed, McCready pulled away from Willix again, but when the next caution came out on lap 13, Willix made sure it didn't happen again on the next restart. When the green flag came back out, Willix was even with McCready as they entered turn 1 and 2, and remained side by side when they exited turn 2. But that changed down the backstretch. Willix, with a burst of momentum, powered past McCready's number 28, taking the lead and quickly dropping to the inside as they drove into turns 3 and 4. Willix pulled away quickly but faced another challenge before the end of the race. As Willix and McCready reached lap traffic, Stuart Friesen worked a third with momentum on the outside lane. However, that momentum was halted in the final 10 laps when he tried to drive around McCready on the outside as Dale Gray, a lap car, held his line in front of him. Once Friesen cleared Gray, he gained his momentum and set his sights on McCready again with 5 laps to go. The NASCAR Truck Series star rolled around McCready on the outside lane, beating him to the start-finish line as they completed lap 47. But Friesen wasn't done there. He tried to pass Willix on the final lap with the same move he used on McCready. However, Willix was too strong, beating Friesen to the checkered flag by .355 seconds to earn her second career Dirt Car 358 Modified Series win, one worth $4,000. Willix said he knew he had to make his move on the lap 13 restart as the bottom became the dominant line. I was thinking to myself, I just had to time this right because he was blowing away from us the 2 times before, Willix said. I timed it right, and I stayed on his door getting to turn 1, and I cleared him. It was fun racing with Jordan. He's a clean racer. We beat the best with Friesen, Matt Williamson, and all the guys. There was no feeling better than tonight. Friesen, who now lives in Sprakers, New York, settled for second. He said he was happy to come out with a good finish close to home. It was a heck of a race, Friesen said. I got to the top, and I was really good off the top of turn 4 early. Jordan would move up there and then move to the bottom, and it seemed like whenever I'd try something, he'd try the same thing. McCready finished third after leading the first 13 laps of the feature. He said that the restart on lap 13 changed his entire race. It was the worst time for me, and like the best time for Lance, McCready said. I think that was right when the rubber started to show up. I knew it was going to happen. I was hoping maybe it would happen in lap traffic, so maybe I could gauge where it was. And by the time we were in lap traffic, the yellow would fly, so it was unfortunate it happened on the restart. After that, I was sort of surprised to see Stewie on the outside. He could roll the middle, a half groove on the rubber, which was pretty impressive. Other than that, it was a good night for us. We're going to take third for sure. Mike Mahaney finished 4th, and Felix Waugh rounded out the top 5. Billy Dunn would finish 6th, your winner 1 year ago. Peter Britton would be 7th, Brian Calabrese 8th, Matt Williamson 9th, and Ryan Bartlett rounded out your top 10. The free tire, courtesy of Hoosier Racing Tire, went to Joey Benetti. And taking a look at post-race technical inspection, headers were pulled to look at the inner components of the engine, and everyone passed. In other action at the Ridge on Sunday night, In the Ted's Body Shop Next Generation Graphics Dirt Car Sportsman feature event, Zach Buff picked up the win over Taylor Wasson, Stephen Gray, Caden Hodenschelt, and Tony Ferrone. In the Yerkowitz Autocrushers Dirt Car Pro Stock Division, Slater Baker picked up the win over Luke Horning, Ivan Joslin, Chuck McSpirit, and Steve Kosselman. In the Leather Stocking Credit Union Dirt Car Mini Stock Division, Stephen Walters picked up the overall win. Pat McSpirit finished second, Tim Warner the third, Daniel Joubert fourth, and Jamie Warner rounded out your top five. In the Limited Sportsman feature, Josh Coonrad picked up the 20-lapper, his third consecutive win, over Nick Brundage, your opening day winner, Zach Graham, Chayton Young, and Zach McSpirit. The Dirt Car Pro Stock Series invades the Ridge this Sunday night, courtesy of Yerkowitz Autocrushers. All divisions are in action, with race time set for 6 p.m. Heading over to Route 9 in the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, the Great Race Place held another jam-packed night of racing action in front of their usual, very large and enthusiastic crowd. The following is from the track press release. If Demetrios Drellos was looking for a little confidence booster, he certainly got it Friday night. Drellos, the defending Dirt Car Modified champion at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, made his way to victory lane for the first time this season, holding off Peter Britton and Mark Johnson in the wild 35-lap Napa Dirt Car Modified feature that had more twists and turns than a John Grisham novel. And becoming the 7th different modified winner in as many weeks at the historic Malta track, Drellos walked off with $4,000 through sponsorship from John Ray & Sons Fuel and Dean's Electrical Services. I really needed this. I was a little down in the dumps today, said Drellos in victory lane after the win. I haven't been driving the way I want to, but my wife, my dad, and my mom stuck with me, and this is a morale booster for all of us. Just for the record, if Britton had been able to stick the landing on an incredible move in the closing laps, Drellos would have had another disappointing night. But let's back up a bit and set the scene. On lap 20, Jeremy Pitts got under leader Don Ronca in turn 4. The two made hard contact, with Ronca ending up against the fourth turn wall and Pitts taking the lead. Fast forward to lap 21, when Drellos, who had started 12th, slipped between Derek Bohr and Justin Stone coming out of the fourth turn, moving from 4th to 2nd. Pitts was still leading on lap 31 when Sparks suddenly shot out of the rear of his car. Drellos was on the inside going into the second turn, with the about-to-be-lapped car of Tommy D'Angelo right in front of him. But just as Pitts' engine let go, Drellos pulled to the right, missed the rear of D'Angelo's car, as well as the front of Pitts' machine, and had the lead. I almost messed up there, said Drellos. But the caution brought out by Pitts' engine failure put Britton next to Drellos, with Johnson third for the restart. Drellos had been finding traction in the middle of the track all night, and Johnson loves the inside, and the last place Britton wanted to be was on the outside. As the trio went into the third turn, Britton saw a gap between Drellos and Johnson and mashed the gas, making it 3 wide going through 3. But Drellos crossed back over in front of Britton in the fourth turn to maintain the lead at the white flag, and 1 lap later had his first win of the season. I had to give it a go, said Britton with a smile after the race. A gap was there, so I took a run at it. The car wasn't set up to run the cushion, so I had to take what I could get. This is huge, said Drellos. We've been in a rut, and this will really help get out of it. Johnson, who started 18th, crossed the finish line third, with Bornt fourth, his best modified finish ever at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway. Jack Spisak completed the top 5. 6 through 10 would see Colby Schroeder, Neil Stratton, Jack Lehner, Ryan McCartney, and Jesse Mueller. In other action, Joey Scarborough picked up the Dirt Car Sportsman feature event win. Brandon Amy won yet another Dirt Car Pro Stock feature event at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, and Tanner Kuhn became the first repeat winner in the Limited Sportsman division, while Adam Montville and Kyle Lamphere picked up the Dirt Car Mini Stock feature event wins. The Albany-Saratoga Speedway is back in action this Friday night, June 7th, with all divisions in action, plus the only appearance of the season by the Extreme Dirt Car DMA Midget Series. The Dirt Car Sportsman division will compete for a $1,500 to win top prize, courtesy of Greed Acres Landscaping, while the Dirt Car Pro Stocks will compete for $1,000 to win, courtesy of JCO Plumbing and Heating. Race time is 7 p.m. Coming up on Tuesday, June 25th, the Super Dirt Car Series for Big Block Modifieds will invade the Great Race Place for the Don Davies New York Modified 76. The 76th lap event is being run in honor of the late Area Auto Racing News journalist Don Davies and will feature the best from the dirt modified world. The Dirt Car Sportsman and Dirt Car Pro Stocks will also be on the card in a $1,046 to win event, courtesy of Cordova Plumbing and Heating and Green Acres Landscaping, respectively. The Lebanon Valley Speedway was in action on Sunday night as well. Well, that is until the lights went out. A freak electrical issue with the power grid forced the postponement of most of the night's racing action. The limited sportsman feature event was able to be completed, though. Picking up the win in the 15-lapper was Scott Zeneker over Brian Walsh, Braxton Martin, Harold Robitaille, and John Santolin. The Lebanon Valley Speedway is back in action this Saturday night with the 12th annual J.C. Flack Memorial plus all other racing divisions. In other Dirt Car Series action, the Dirt Car Sportsman West Region Series was in action with back-to-back events at the Ransomville Speedway and Merrittville Speedway in New York and Ontario, respectively. On Friday night, out at the Ransomville Speedway, the 30-lapper went to Cody McPherson over Adam Leslie, Adam Hilton, Cameron Tuttle, Brett Senick, David Conant Jr., Jacob Bansmer, Kevin Wills, Justin McKay, and Jordan Moden. On Saturday night, just across the border into Ontario, the Merrittville Speedway presented the Ivan Little Memorial 40-lapper, a $4,000 to win event for the Dirt Car Sportsman West Region. Cody McPherson swept the weekend by picking up the big win in that event as well. Jay Mallory finished in the number 2 position, Adam Leslie was 3rd, Curtis Friesen 4th, and Brett Senick was 5th for the second night in a row. Mitch Dumont was 6th, Cameron Tuttle 7th, Nigel Pendakowski was 8th, James Friesen was 9th, and Taylor Van der Zanden rounded out your top 10. Taking a look at the 2024 Hoosier Racing Tire Weekly Dirt Car Racing Series Championship, point standings were updated as of June 3rd, that was Monday. In the Big Block Modifieds, Mark Johnson's on top over Peter Britton, Colby Schroeder, Jack Later, and Demetrios Drellos. In the Dirt Car 358 Modifieds, it's Lance Willix on top over Billy Dunn, Andrew Buff, Tim Fuller, and Ryan Arbuthnot. In the Dirt Car Sportsman Division, it's Zach Buff over Cody Manita, Mike Fowler, Nicholas Root, and Tyler Corcoran. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock ranks, it's Luke Horning over Slater Baker, Kim Duell, Cody Gregolopoulos, and Jason Casey. In the Dirt Car 4 Cylinders, it's Nate Powers on top over David Frame, Kyle Lanphier, Damian Beckler, and Francis White. This week's Capital District Dirt Driver of the Week award winner, presented by the Glenridge Motorsports Park Kids Club, is a driver who beat the best of the best Sunday night up at the Ridge, Lance Willix. Lance is now eligible for the overall Capital District Dirt Driver of the Year award to be presented at the season's end. That will do it for this LaGrange Media production. Until next time, please stay safe. Remember to support those that support racing and support all cancer research. Until next time, so long for now.